Are you sure you don't need the car tonight? Emma asked, twirling the keys in her hand like they were a toy. I smiled even though something inside me tightened. No, it's fine. I'll just order food. Maybe watch a movie. Go enjoy yourself. You're too sweet to me, she said, leaning down to kiss my cheek. Or maybe I'm just stupid, I muttered, half-dashed joking. She laughed. Don't say that. You know I love how trusting you are. Yeah, I said softly. I know. When the door shut behind her, the silence wrapped around me. I sat on the couch, staring at the empty driveway. My father's car. My father's last gift. I hated how uneasy I felt, but I shoved it down. 2 hours passed. I scrolled my phone, restless. A notification popped up Instagram. I opened it without thinking, and there it was. Emma, smiling wider than she had in weeks, her hair falling over her shoulder, eyes glowing. She wasn't alone. My car's dashboard was in the shot. The driver's hand rested on the wheel. My breath caught. That hand. That watch. That face. David, my best friend. The caption read, "Late night drives hit different with the right company." Hashtag Ridiordier froze, phone trembling in my hand. No, this can't be real. I whispered it, like saying it out loud would undo it. But the picture didn't disappear. 3 betrayals in one frame. The girl I loved, the friend I trusted, the car that meant everything to me. My chest tightened, a crushing weight pressing me down. I tried calling Emma, but she didn't answer. I dialed David next, straight to voicemail. The minutes crawled by. I sat in silence, phone clutched in my hand, mind racing. Why him? Why my car? Why both? When headlights finally swept across the window near midnight, I didn't move. I just listened as the car door shut, her heels tapping against the pavement. The front door creaked open. "Hey," she said casually, setting my keys on the table. I stared at her. "Where were you?" She blinked. "What do you mean? I told you meeting a friend." "A friend named David." My voice cracked, her lips parted, then pressed together. "He just gave me directions. It wasn't a big deal. It's not a big deal." I shoved my phone in front of her, the photo glowing. "This looks like a big deal to me." Her eyes flickered across the screen, then back to me. "You're overreacting." "Overreacting?" I laughed, hollow and sharp. "That's my car. It's my best friend. That's you smiling like I don't exist." She crossed her arms. "Ryan, don't twist this. Shh. It's not what it looks like." "Then tell me what it is." He wanted to go for a quick drive. I didn't think it mattered. My hand shook. "Emma, that car isn't just a car. It's my father's. And David, he's like a brother to me. You put them together like none of it means anything." Her face hardened. "You're being dramatic." "Dramatic." My laugh broke. "I'm being betrayed, Emma. There's a difference." Silence fell heavy between us. She looked at me, then away, her jaw tight. I whispered, "Do you love him?" Her head snapped up. "What?" "No, of course not." "Then why him? Why my car?" She didn't answer. The quiet was worse than anything she could have said. I sank onto the couch, burying my face in my hands. My chest burned, and I hated myself for the tears pressing against my eyes. Emma stood there, arms crossed, as if I was the problem. Finally, she said, "You're making this bigger than it is. You need to calm down." I looked up at her. I can't calm down when my whole world just shifted. Do you even get that?" Her expression flickered something between guilt and annoyance. "I'm going to bed. We'll talk tomorrow when you're not like this." She walked away, leaving me in the living room, phone still glowing with the picture that burned into my mind. The door to the bedroom clicked shut. I sat there in the dark, whispering to myself, "You gave her everything. And she gave you this? Trust, love, friendship, all of it twisted into betrayal." That night I realized trust doesn't always break with a bang. Sometimes it drives away quietly smiling in the passenger seat while your best friend takes the wheel. And me? I was left with silence. "Laughing when you walked in told me enough," I said, keeping my voice flat. "Where did you go, Emma?" "For a drive. I needed air." "With David?" He was nearby, in my car. "Shh, in your car," she said. "He knew the roads better." "I live here," I said. "He doesn't know my roads better than I do." You're twisting it. I'm untwisting it, I said. Why him? He offered to help. I didn't think it mattered. It mattered the second I saw his hand on my wheel. It was just a hand on a wheel. It was my wheel, I said. And you were smiling like I didn't exist. You're reading into a caption. I'm reading into a choice, I said. Whose idea was the photo? His. He likes to show off. So you let him show off with my father's car? Don't weaponize your dad against me. I'm not, I said. That car carries my name in his memory. You knew that? You're making this dramatic, making this honest, I said. Do you want David? No. Does he want you? That's not the point. It's exactly the point. You're calm in a scary way. I'm done screaming in my head, I said. Tell me the part that hurts. There is no part. There is, I said. When did the lies begin? We talked. That's it. How long? A few weeks. In my car. Sometimes she whispered. I nodded. My stomach felt like stone, but my voice stayed steady. Call him why? Because I want to hear him lie too. Her phone buzzed. She turned it face down. David, I asked. It's nothing. Call him, I said. She dialed, put it on speaker, answered with a lazy drawl. What's up? It's me, she said. And me, I added. Hey. Say hi to the steering wheel you love. Silence. Then a chuckle. Ryan, man, don't be weird. Tell me what you and Emma are. Friends, he said quickly. I was helping with directions. Directions to where? A late night spot? What's it called? He paused. You know, the one by the river? The river has 4, I said. Which one? He laughed. You're overthinking. I'm counting, I said. Money I loaned you? Nights you crashed on my couch? Times I called you brother? Who's dramatic now? He said. Did you post the photo? Emma did. She shook her head. No. He, David cut in. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It matters, I said. You touched what isn't yours and smiled while doing it. Dude, it's just a car. It's not just a car, I said.
Ow.
It's the last thing my father touched. You knew that. He scoffed. You're not special. Maybe I'm not, I said. But my patience was. He went quiet. Then, what do you want? The truth. We drove. We talked. She vented about you, he said.
What?
You're controlling. Emma snapped. I never said controlling. He said intense, he replied. I said loyal, she shot back. I felt the word land like a bruise. Loyal costs something, I said. I paid. You spent. David snorted. You done? Almost I said. Stay away from my car and my house. He laughed. There's the anger. There's the boundary, I said, and hung up. You didn't have to threaten him. I said a line, I said. You moved it. I didn't cheat. You broke trust, I said. Sometimes that's worse. She sank into a chair. She whispered, Why aren't you yelling? Because yelling would let you think I want to win, I said. I want the truth. I'm scared you'll leave. I'm scared I won't, I said. I liked the attention. He made me feel seen. I made you feel safe, I said. Did that get boring? Tears prickled her eyes. I don't know who I am when I'm not adored. You're still responsible, I said. She nodded, slow. I know. Silence spread like smoke. I felt rage cool into something heavier, a quiet hate that steadied my hands at last inside. I said, Tomorrow we decide if this ends us. Tonight? Tonight I decide who I am without applause, I said. Her phone buzzed again. She didn't touch it. I stood. Smell that, what lies, I said. Burned rubber after a joyride. I'm sorry I heard that, I said and walked to the door. Behind me she whispered, Do you still love me? Love felt like a locked engine. I don't know, I said, but I know I can drive without you. Who keeps texting you? I asked, leaning against the doorway, as Emma quickly locked her phone. No one, she said too fast. Then why did you just delete the thread? She shot me a look. You're paranoid. I said, Was it David? Her silence stretched, filling the room with answers I didn't want. Emma, I pressed, Are you seeing him? Her lips parted, but no words came. She turned away, pretending to fold laundry. That silence screams louder than any confession. I whispered, You're twisting things again? I'm untwisting them, I said. I'm asking the one question that matters. Are you mine or not? She threw the shirt down. You don't own me. I never tried to own you, I said, voice breaking. I just wanted the truth. I grabbed her bag. I can't deal with this right now. The door slammed behind her, leaving the air sharp and cold. I stared at the picture frame on the shelf on our first trip, arms wrapped tight, lifted it, stared at the smiles that once felt real, then hurled it across the room. The glass exploded, shards scattering like the pieces of me I couldn't put back together. I didn't notice the blood at first. Just the sting in my palm when I picked up the pieces. A thin line of red slid down my wrist. I watched it, almost detached. The pain in my hand was nothing compared to the hollow fire inside my chest. My phone buzzed. Sophia's name lit the screen. I answered, voice raw. Hey, you sound wrecked, she said. What happened now? She's lying, I said. I caught her deleting messages. I asked if she was seeing him. She didn't answer. Sophia's breath hissed through the line. It's an answer in itself. I don't want it to be, but it is. I smashed our photo, I admitted. You what? The frame? Glass everywhere? My hand's bleeding, Ryan, she said firmly. You need to stop hurting yourself for someone who clearly doesn't care. I thought she cared. You hoped she cared. There's a difference. I sat on the floor among the shards. I don't know how to let go. You don't have to yet, she said softly. But you have to stop letting her destroy you in the process. I feel like a fool, I said. No, Sophia replied. You loved. It's not foolish. The betrayal is hers, not yours. Then why do I feel like I'm the one who failed? Because you gave her everything, she said. And when someone wastes that, the giver always feels emptier than the thief. I closed my eyes. What if she comes back tonight? Ask yourself this, Sophia said. If she walked in and begged for forgiveness, would you believe her? Answer clawed its way out of me. No. Then you already know the truth, she said gently. Silence filled the call, heavy but oddly comforting. I finally whispered, I hate that I still want her to choose me. That's human, Sophia said. But Ryan, sometimes loving someone means realizing they're poison. My throat tightened. She was my home, she said firmly. She was a house built on sand. Homes don't collapse when storms hit. I laughed bitterly. You always know how to gut me. Because I care, she said, more than she ever did. I looked at my bloody palm again, the sting sharper now. You think I'll ever get past this? You will, she said. But only if you stop bleeding for her. Her words sank into me, steady and brutal. I pressed a towel against my hand and whispered, thanks. For what? For reminding me I'm not insane. You're not, she said. You're just hurt, and hurt can heal. I nodded, though she couldn't see. I'll call. You tomorrow, you'd better. Ryan, don't give her another piece of you tonight. I'll try. When the call ended, the apartment felt too big. The broken frame lay scattered on the floor, the smiling faces inside it mocking me. I picked up the photo, torn and blood-specked. Now, are you mine or not? I whispered to the empty room. The silence answered back. That night, I realized glass doesn't just break, it reflects. And in those shards, I saw myself for the first time, cut, bleeding. And finally aware that love had turned into something sharp enough to wound me deeper than steel ever could. You can't keep pretending you don't see it, Sophia said, her eyes sharp as she leaned across the cafe table. I don't want to see it, I muttered, because once I do, there's no way back. Ryan, she pressed, don't let them play you. Emma's not just lying. She's building an entire world without you. I rubbed my temples. How do I even prove it? Every time I ask, she dodges. Every time I look, she's hiding something. And stop asking. Start watching. Her words. Stuck that night, I sat in the dark corner of our living room, waiting. Emma came home late, heels clicking against the tiles. She whispered into her phone, laughing softly. Who's that? I asked. She jumped. Just Clara. Then why hang up the second I spoke? Because you startled me, or because it wasn't Clara? God, you're exhausting, she snapped, tossing her bag on the couch. I stared at her. I'm exhausted from guessing who you really are. She rolled her eyes and disappeared into the bedroom. The next few days were a blur of secrets. Girls' trips that appeared out of nowhere. Laughter that cut off when I entered the room, her phone glued to her hand like oxygen. My gut twisted. Tighter each time, a knot pulling me toward an answer I didn't want. When Sophia called, I admitted it. You were right. She's hiding more than I thought. Told you, she said. Dig deeper. Don't wait for the truth to crash down. Find it first. How? Someone close to her knows. They always do. That someone appeared sooner than I expected, Clara. I ran into her at a bar downtown. She spotted me before I could leave and waved me over. Ryan, she said, sliding a drink my way. Alone tonight? Seems like I always am lately. Her smile faltered. Emma? What about her? I asked carefully. Clara swirled her glass. She's been busy with David. She froze. So you know. I know enough. To lose sleep, I said. But not enough to stop doubting myself. Her eyes softened. You deserve better, Ryan. The words cut deeper than I expected. And why hasn't anyone told me what's really going on? Because Emma doesn't like people talking about her choices. Choices like stealing my car to impress David. Clara sighed. She told me it was just for fun. She said you'd never understand. She was right, I muttered. But I don't. She likes the thrill, Clara admitted. She likes being chased, adored, worshipped. And David gives her that? Clara looked away. For now, I repeated, bitterness dripping from every word. So I'm just the fool waiting at home? You're not a fool, she said softly. You're the one who actually cared. Then why stay her friend? Clara hesitated, sipping her drink before answering. Because sometimes it's safer to be close to people like her. You get burned less when you expect the fire. Studied her. Are you warning me? I'm hinting? Hinting isn't enough. Say it plain. She leaned closer, whispering like the walls might be listening. Emma's not who you think she is anymore. David isn't just a friend to her. Be careful. Her hand brushed mine briefly before she pulled back. I shouldn't have said. This then. Why did you? 'Cause watching you break is harder than keeping her secret. The words burned hotter than whiskey. I whispered, you deserve better, Ryan. Yes. I said, but deserving doesn't mean getting. Stood, tossing cash on the table. Don't wait for her to confess. She never will. I watched her leave, the air heavy with everything unsaid. Later that night, Emma stumbled in again, smelling like perfume and smoke. Where were you? I asked. With Clara, she said instantly. I almost laughed. Clara, she told me she hadn't seen you all week. Emma's face drained of color. She's lying. No, I said quietly. For once, someone told me the truth. Okay, her mouth opened, closed, then tightened. You've been spying? I've been surviving, I said. Do you even hear yourself anymore? She turned away muttering, you're impossible. Watched her vanish into the bedroom again, and for the first time, I didn't follow. I sat there in the dark, Clara's whisper echoing in my head. You deserve better, Ryan. The words didn't heal me. They set me on fire. That night I decided. Whispers could be louder than screams if you knew how to listen. The clock hit midnight, then 1, then 2. Emma still wasn't home. I dialed her straight to voicemail. I texted, no reply. My chest buzzed with dread. At 4 a.m. my phone finally rang. Unknown number, Ryan Carter, a deep voice asked. Yes, this is Detective Harris. Your vehicle was found abandoned off Highway 19. Engine still running. My blood iced. Abandoned? Yes, do you want to come down? I threw on a jacket and drove with shaking hands. The scene felt unreal, flashing lights, officers standing around my car like it was evidence of a crime. That's mine, I said, voice breaking. Detective Harris approached, sturdy frame, tired eyes. Keys still in it, no one around. Looks like whoever drove it just walked off. Emma, I whispered. Your girlfriend? I nodded. She took it last night. She never came back. Harris scribbled on his pad. She contact you? He studied me? Any fights lately? Plenty, I admitted. But she wouldn't just leave my car running in the middle of nowhere. Unless she wanted someone else to take it, he said evenly. I blinked. What are you implying? Shrugged. Abandoned vehicles usually mean one of two things: trouble or cover-up. Did she say where she was going? Out with friends. But she lies about everything now. He nodded slowly. You think this David fellow might be involved? The name stung like salt. How do you know about David? Harris tapped his notepad. Emma's name came up in a disturbance report. 2 nights ago. Argument at a bar. Witnesses said she left with a man named David. My stomach flipped. So he had my car again. Could be, Harris said. Or she handed it over willingly. I pressed my fists against the hood, staring at the empty driver's seat. His car, it was my father's. The last thing I have of him, and now it's treated like trash. Harris studied me quietly. I've seen people lose cars, houses, jobs. The ones who survive are the ones who learn it's not about what was taken, but about who took it. Meaning, he lowered his voice, she's playing you. The car's the least of your worries. I swallowed hard. So what do I do? Tell me the truth, Harris said. Has she given you any reason not to trust her? I almost laughed. Every reason. Secret calls. Lies. Pictures with David. Tonight is just proof I ignored the signs too long. Then stop ignoring them, Harris said. We'll tow the car back for you. But you need to decide if the problem is the vehicle or the person who keeps disappearing with it. I stared at the driver's seat, the indent where she sat, the wheel David's hand had gripped. My chest burned. Maybe it's both. Listen, Harris added. I can open a case if you want. Report it stolen. But if you're telling me she had permission, even loosely, then it won't stick. She had permission once, I said bitterly. Not anymore. Then make that clear to her. Boundaries save lives, I whispered. Boundaries don't save love. Harris gave a tired smile. Sometimes losing love is what saves you. I watched the tow truck haul my car away. The taillights disappeared into the dawn, leaving me with the detective's words echoing in my head. On the drive home, called Emma again. Voicemail, I texted. The car was found abandoned. Call me now. No response when I finally stumbled into the apartment. The silence pressed down heavier than ever. I sat on the couch staring at the door waiting. At 7, the door creaked open. Emma slipped inside, hair messy, perfume faded. Where the hell were you? I demanded. She froze. What? The car? Highway 19, engine running. Police called me, her face drained. You talked to them? Yes. Want to explain why my father's car was left like garbage on the side of the road? She stammered. I panicked. Panicked or ditched it. Ryan, you don't understand, you're right. I cut in. I don't, because I can't imagine abandoning something that mattered to you. Not once. Her lips trembled. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? She dropped into a chair, burying her face in her hands. I couldn't drive anymore. I just walked. Walked where? No answer, I whispered. You left my car to die. Just like you're leaving us. Her silence was the only confirmation I needed. I looked at the bandaged cut on my palm from the broken frame, then back at her. This is the end of us, Emma. Or maybe just the start of something darker. Her head snapped up. What does that mean? It means the next time you steal my trust, it won't be me that bleeds. The room went silent. Only the echo of shattered engines and shattered love remained. Detective Harris didn't waste time. Do you think she set you up? The question hit me like a slap. Set me up. You mean left the car there on purpose? He nodded. Could be. People abandon cars to fake theft all the time. I swallowed. No, she wouldn't. But even as I said it, doubt wrapped around my throat. Harris leaned forward. Ryan, if you keep defending someone who won't defend you, you'll drown in their lies. Just need proof, I whispered. Then, look in the right places, he said. Later that day, Emma walked in like nothing happened. "What did the detective say?" I stared at her. "He asked if you set me up." Her eyes widened. "What? Why would I ever you tell me?" "I didn't abandon the car on purpose. I panicked." "Keep saying that," I said flatly. "But panic doesn't explain David." She froze. "What about David? Don't play dumb. Did he meet you that night?" "No," she said. "Too quickly." "Lie better," I snapped, because the way he smirked when I asked told me everything. Her shoulders stiffened. "You confronted him?" "Yes." He laughed like he owned both of us. She bit her lip. "He's just arrogant." "No, he's guilty," I said. "And you are too, if you keep covering for him." "I'm not covering." "Stop." My voice cracked. "Every word out of your mouth ties you tighter in this web you spun, and I'm choking on it." Her eyes welled. "You think I'd betray you like that?" "I don't think anymore," I said. "I know," she whispered. "You don't understand." "Then make me." Her silence answered. That evening I found David outside a bar, leaning against his car. "Well, if it isn't the abandoned owner," he said with that smirk. I clenched my fists. "What did you do with her, Witcher?" "Emma," he chuckled. "Relax. We just drove." "In my car?" "Left to rot." He shrugged. "Maybe she got tired of lugging your memories around. The car's a coffin." I stepped closer. "Say that again?" He raised his hands mockingly. "Easy, brother. I didn't touch your precious heirloom." She drove. "She ditched it." "Ask her." "I did, and she panicked. Right?" He laughed. "That's her word for guilt." "Why are you doing this?" I asked, voice low. "Because I can," he said. "You made it too easy. Always trusting. Always blind." My teeth ground. "You think this breaks me?" "It already did," he said smugly. I leaned in, whispering, "No, David, it built me. Every lie you both told is fuel. You lit a fire you can't control." He blinked, smirk faltering. "Careful." I smiled coldly. "I'm just getting started." When I walked away, my anger didn't explode. Burned, steady, controlled. They thought they'd shattered me, but all they'd done was sharpen me, for the first time. I felt the fire grow, and I wasn't afraid of it. A pounding. Knock rattled my door close to midnight. "Ryan." A voice slurred. I opened it to find Clara, mascara streaked, bottle dangling from her hand. She stumbled inside without waiting. "You shouldn't be here." I said, "I needed to see you," she whispered, dropping onto my couch. "I can't. Keep holding this." I shut the door. "Holding what?" She lifted the bottle, took another swig, then set it down hard. The truth about Emma. My stomach sank. "Clara, if you came here drunk to stir drama?" "No," she cut me off, voice trembling. "She's been lying to you, Ryan." All this time I froze. "Say it straight." Her eyes shimmered. "Shh, she doesn't love you. Shh, she loves the thrill. The game. She gets high on attention, on danger. David's just her new toy." The word sliced through me, brutal and clean. "She told you this?" I asked. Clara nodded. "She brags when she's drunk. Says you'll never leave because you're too loyal. Says David's fun because he doesn't care about consequences." I felt my chest collapse, and so I was right. Tears filled Clara's eyes. "You were. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner." I sat across from her, voice barely steady. "Why tell me now?" "'Cause tonight she laughed about it again. She said you'd probably forgive her even if you caught them together." Clara grabbed my arm. "You deserve better, Ryan." I swallowed hard. At least I'm not insane. At least the pain finally has a name. She squeezed my arm. "You're not crazy. You've been in love, and she's been playing." I pulled away, pacing. She used my car, my trust, my God, even my grief for my dad. And for what? A game, Clara whispered. "She likes to see how far she can push before people break." "Well," I said, clenching my fists, "she pushed too far." Clara shook her head. "Don't do something reckless." "I'm done being the fool," I said. "Promise me you won't hurt yourself." "I won't," I said, "but I can't promise I won't hurt them." She stared at me, searching my face. "You scare me when you say it like that." I looked at her, calm in a way that terrified even me. Good. Clara's voice dropped to a whisper. You're changing. I have to, I said. She killed the man who believed in her. What's left is someone who finally believes in himself. Clara covered her mouth, trembling. Then let me help you. You already have, I said quietly. You told me the truth. The room fell into heavy silence. Clara's eyes glistened. As she whispered again, You deserve better, Ryan. I nodded slowly. I know, and I'm finally going to take it. Emma cornered me in the kitchen one night. Why are you so quiet lately? I sipped water and stared past her. What? Because words don't matter anymore, she frowned. You've changed. You made sure of that, I said. Her voice sharpened. Can't keep punishing me with silence. I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting myself. She scoffed. Yeah, by ignoring me? By studying you, I said, calm but steady. Every laugh you share with David is fuel. Okay, every lie you tell is firewood. Her eyes narrowed. That sounds like a threat. No, I said. That's a forecast. At work, Lucas noticed. He leaned against my desk. You look like hell, man. Eating? I shook my head. Not hungry. Sleeping? Barely? He frowned. This isn't you. It's the new me, I said. Want to talk about it? I glanced at him, debating. You ever realize the people you trusted most were sharpening knives behind your back? His expression hardened. Once hurt like hell? What did you do? Shut up and built myself stronger. Silence can be scarier than rage. I nodded slowly. Exactly. That evening, Emma tried again. Ryan, say something. Anything. I looked at her and whispered, Why waste breath on someone who only hears lies? She slammed her hand on the table. I can't live with this. Version of you. You created him, I said. Her eyes watered. Stop making me the villain. Then stop playing the part, I replied. She stormed off, door slamming. I sat in the dark, the quiet wrapping around me like armor. Lucas's words echoed. Silence can be scarier than rage. For the first time, I realized Emma feared me more now than when I shouted. She didn't know what I was planning, and that was the point. Revenge wasn't about fists or fury. It was about justice, slow, inevitable, and silent. Lucas leaned over my desk, voice low. You hear the rumors? I didn't look up from my screen. About what, David? Word is, he's bleeding money, something shady at his company. I let the corner of my mouth twitch. Not surprised. Lucas studied me. You almost sound satisfied. Maybe I am, I said. People deserve the mess they make. Later that night, Sophia called. Ryan, I found something. I leaned back in my chair. It's better be worth the suspense. It is. I got into some records. David's been siphoning funds, but that's not the kicker. What is? He's been moving debt into Emma's name. Loans, credit cards, everything traceable back to her. My breath caught. You're serious? Dead serious? He's setting her up to take the fall. I laughed bitterly. So the spider's web is choking its own spider. Sophia hesitated. How do you feel about that? Like justice finally showed up, I said. You're just going to watch? Yes, I whispered. For once, I don't need to act. Karma's faster than me. The next morning, Emma stormed into the apartment, face pale. Why didn't you tell me? Tell you what? I asked calmly. About the debt, she snapped. About David. His company's under investigation, and my name is on half the paperwork. I raised an eyebrow. Sounds like you've been busy. This isn't funny, Ryan. I'm not laughing. I warned you choices have consequences. Her hands shook. You knew, didn't you? Maybe, maybe not. Does it matter? The truth's out either way? She gripped the counter. He swore it was just temporary, just to cover some losses. And you believed him? I asked coldly. After everything? She bit her lip. I didn't think he'd drag me down with him. That's what liars do, I said. They don't just fall, they pull everyone around them into the pit. She whispered, What do I do now? I shrugged. Face it, like I had to face you. Her eyes filled with tears. You don't even care, do you? I cared, I said softly. But you strangled that care with every lie you fed me. The silence hung heavy until her phone rang. She answered, trembling, David, no, I can't cover this. Stop yelling at me. She slammed it down, chest heaving. I watched, unmoved. Strings are snapping, Emma, and you tied them yourself. She sank into a chair, whispering, I don't know who I am anymore. You're someone who chose thrill over love, I said.
What?
And now the bills due. She looked at me, eyes pleading. Help me.
But
I shook my head slowly. No. I told you I don't need to lift a finger. Karma's got better aim than I ever could. The door creaked open and I heard sobs before I even saw her face. Emma stumbled inside, eyes red, voice trembling. Ryan, he left me. I folded my arms. David? She nodded violently. He's gone. Right. When the debt surfaced, he just disappeared. No calls, no messages, nothing. And you're surprised? Her. Lips quivered. I thought he loved me. I let out a hollow laugh. Love doesn't abandon you when the numbers don't add up. She stepped closer. Please, don't shut me out. I need someone. I need you. I tilted my head. Now you need me? Her tears streaked down her cheeks. I can't breathe, Ryan. I don't know what to do. You always knew how to fix things. I stayed still. No, not this time. She reached for my hand, but I pulled it away. Why are you so cold? She whispered. Because I remember, I said. I remember you choosing him. Every word, every touch you gave it to him. And now you expect me to erase that? Her voice cracked. I was wrong. I thought he was stronger, safer. Safer, I snapped. He built a house of cards and called it an empire. You called it love. She collapsed onto the couch, clutching a pillow like it could hold her together. I hate him. Hate myself. I leaned against the wall, my chest tight. You should have hated the lies when they were still whispers, not screams. She shook her head desperately. Please, Ryan, don't do this. Talk to me. Hold me. I can't bear this alone. Looked at her, really looked, her hair messy, her face blotched from crying, her pride stripped bare. For the first time, I felt nothing. You chose him, I whispered. She broke then, sobbing louder, almost choking on the sound. I know. God, I know. And I'd undo it if I could, but I can't. Don't punish me more by turning away. Words clawed at me, but my silence was stronger. You don't understand, she cried. I built everything on him, and now it's gone. He left me with nothing. Nothing but you. Exactly, I said sharply. Now you see what nothing feels like. She buried her face in her hands. You're enjoying this, aren't you? I paused. It's not joy. It's something darker. Satisfaction tangled with heartbreak. Watching you collapse, it's the justice I prayed for, but it burns too. Her shoulders shook violently. So you won't forgive me? I closed my eyes for a moment. Forgiveness isn't mine to give. You traded it away. She looked up, eyes swollen, voice hoarse. Then at least pity me. I shook my head. Pity? No, pity would mean I still see you as innocent. You're not. Her sobs filled the room again, raw and broken. I turned toward the window, watching the night press against the glass. For once, her pain didn't drag me under. It stood apart, a storm I could finally watch from shelter. She whispered one last time, almost inaudible. I don't want to be alone. I let the silence answer her. I stared at the ceiling in silence, memories circling me like vultures. Our first date, the way her fingers brushed mine at the cafe table, the warmth of her laugh when I spilled coffee on myself, her voice whispering, I love you, under the stars. All of it felt like someone else's life. Why are you so quiet? Emma's voice cracked. She sat at the edge of my couch, trembling. Please say something. I closed my eyes. Do you remember that night on the rooftop? Her breath hitched. Of course I do. You told me you'd never hurt me. My words came out low, sharp. You swore your love was different. Do you even remember saying it? Shh. She whispered. I remember everything. I regret what I did. I regret him. I regret choosing David. I was blind, and I stopped. My voice was colder than I intended. Regret isn't love. Regret doesn't heal anything. Tears slid down her cheeks. I still love you. I never stopped. I was stupid, selfish, but please believe me. I shook my head. Love doesn't vanish the moment someone offers more money. Emma, what you felt for me wasn't love. It was comfort, convenience. Her hands reached for mine, desperate. Don't say that. I was scared. I thought David could give me a future, stability, and what about us? I snapped. Wasn't I enough? Wasn't we enough? Her voice broke into sobs. I didn't know what I was doing. I made a mistake, the worst mistake of my life. Why? Turned away, my chest burning. You didn't just make a mistake. You destroyed everything we built. Every word, every promise, every dream, all ashes now. She clutched at her knees. I wish I could undo it. I'd give anything. Wishes. Don't change the past. My throat tightened, but I refused to let tears fall. At that moment, Mia stepped in from the doorway. She'd been listening, though I hadn't asked her to. Her voice cut through Emma's sobs like a blade. Why are you even here, Emma? Mia's eyes were fire. You cheated, you lied, and now that your perfect prince ran off, you crawl back. You think my brother's some safety net? Emma's head dropped, shame flooding her face. I'm not asking for pity. I just want him to know I'm sorry? Mia scoffed. Sorry doesn't erase nights he stayed awake breaking apart. Sorry doesn't erase the way he starved himself because of you. I held up a hand. Mia. No, he needs to hear this, she pressed. You tore him to pieces, Emma, and now you're crying because you don't like the consequences of your choices. That isn't love. That's desperation. Emma's voice quivered. You're right. But I had to try. I couldn't stay silent. I looked at her, my heart heavy yet numb. You've said your piece. I've heard it. But Emma, the man who loved you, is gone. He died the night you chose him over me. She inhaled sharply, as if stabbed.
Oh, you?
I mean, there's nothing left? There's ashes, I said. That's all. Silence wrapped the room, broken only by her quiet sobbing. Mia crossed her arms, glaring. It's time for you to leave. Emma stood shakily, her face red and swollen. I'll go, but I'll always love you. I closed my eyes, refusing to answer. When the door shut, Mia sat beside me. You okay? I don't know, I admitted. I feel empty. She begged, and I felt nothing. That's not nothing, Mia said softly. That's strength. You're starting to see your worth again. Worth? The word tasted foreign. Yes, she insisted. You gave her everything, and she gave you betrayal. Don't confuse her regret for real love. Love doesn't break you to pieces. Love doesn't leave when it gets hard. I let out a shaky breath, but it hurts knowing I still remember the good moments. The way she smiled, the way she made me feel alive. Mia placed a hand on my shoulder. Memories are tricky. They show us what was beautiful, but they hide the rot underneath. You deserve someone who won't turn to dust the second temptation comes. Her words sank deep, anchoring me, so I let her go. You already did, Mia whispered. I leaned back, eyes burning with unshed tears. For the first time, I didn't chase them. I let them stay. The ashes of what we were no longer suffocated me. They only reminded me that from fire, something new could grow. My phone rang before sunrise. Pick up, Sophia said. You need to see this. What now, David? She whispered. He's been arrested. Fraud. It's everywhere. I sat up. Arrested. Headlines and a mugshot. Send me the link. A ping came through. I opened the article. He really did it. He really got caught, she said. I scanned names and numbers, shell accounts, fake invoices, transfers tied to Emma. You okay? I'm steady, I said. Steadier than I expected? You don't sound happy? I'm not happy, I said. I'm finished. Emma called next. I let it ring twice, then answered. What? You've seen it, right? Her voice shook. I have. Had nothing to do with it. She rushed. I didn't know he used my name. You gave him the keys to everything, I said. My car, your trust, your accounts. He lied to me. And you lied to me, I replied. Now the lies are eating each other. Porter's already called, she said. Brian. Please, say something human. I already did, I said. Months ago, you called it dramatic. I'm scared. I believe you, I said. Fear is honest, so you'll help me. No, she went quiet, then whispered, he deserves prison. He deserves whatever the law gives, I said. And you deserve distance from me. A message came from Lucas. Turn on the news. I unmuted the TV. Raids, boxes, ledgers. They're showing raids, I texted. They're showing receipts, he replied. Sophia wrote, Ticker lists Emma as guarantor. I answered, she's watching it too. Sophia, I almost feel bad for her. I wrote, I don't. Not today. Mia knocked, hair tied, eyes fierce. You heard? She asked. Heard. I see it, I said. He bled a lot of people. Do you feel vindicated? I feel finished, I said. The story finally admitted its villain, and you're not the hero? I'm the survivor. That's enough, she said. My phone buzzed again. Clara, I did it, she said, breathless. I leaked the screenshots. What screenshots? Emma's messages. The bragging. The part where she said you'd forgive anything. Why? Because truth matters, she said. Because I was tired of watching you bleed. She'll hate you. She already does, Clara said. Not, but she'll respect the wreckage. I'm done being her mirror. I'd rather be your witness. Thank you. You deserved better, she whispered. Now the world can see why. Stay safe, I said. People throw stones when idols fall. Let them, she replied, and hung up. Detective. Harris called. Long morning, he asked. Long season, I said. You were right about the debts, he added. He's booked. Any charges touching Emma? Not yet, he said. Her name's on documents. She faced interviews. She's terrified. As expected. If she was duped, she needs counsel. If not, she needs truth. She needs both. But listen, son, he said. Don't gloat. Let the system breathe. I'm not gloating, I said. I'm grieving what I wasted. That's the right grief, he said. Keep it, he paused. You still got the car? I do, I said. It runs again. Good, he said. Let it carry you forward, not back. I will. And Ryan, yeah, choose peace. I'm trying, I said. Every day, Emma texted. They're outside. Please talk to me, I typed. I have nothing left to say, she wrote. I'm sorry, he used me. I answered, I forgive the version that didn't know better. I don't trust the version that did. At work, Lucas rolled over. You're trending, he said. Not by name, but by story. I never wanted a story, I said. Still got one, he replied. I nodded toward the TV. See that flag? He squinted. It's breaking. Fraud ring exposed. Subhead, he read. Accomplice claims ignorance. Sources leak messages. Clara's leaks, I said. You good with that? I didn't ask for it. I said, I won't bury it. Sophia called again. You holding up? I'm calm, I said. That calm scares me. It scares me too, I said. But it's clean. No hate, just distance. Then you're healing, maybe. In the afternoon, my screen showed a courtroom feed. They're walking him in, I whispered. Mia leaned over my shoulder. He looks small. He only looked big when he stood on my back, I said. The prosecutor spoke. The judge spoke. Counts piled up like bricks. Do you need to hear this? Mia asked. I need to hear that my name isn't there, I said. We waited. My name never came. That evening, Emma showed up at my door, hood up, eyes swollen. Please, she whispered. Let me in. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. Say what you came to say, I'm drowning, she said. Everyone calls me complicit. I swear I didn't know. You knew enough to enjoy the ride, I said. Not him. You're not me either, I replied. Do you hate me? I don't, I said. Hate would mean I'm still tied to you. Then what am I to you? A lesson, I said, and a warning. Will it ever stop hurting? Yes, I said, when you stop asking me to carry it. She nodded. Goodbye, Ryan. Goodbye. I watched her walk into cameras and faces she once courted. I whispered, the same world she impressed with my car now spits her out. Karma didn't raise its voice today. It didn't need to. It was merciless just being true. I heard the knock before I saw her. Soft, hesitant, almost like she feared the sound of her own desperation. I opened the door, and there she was, Ma, the girl who once ruled my world, now standing like a ghost of herself. Can we talk? She whispered, her voice cracked. I stepped aside silently. She walked in, her shoulders trembling, her eyes rimmed red. Please, she said, don't send me away, not this time. I'm not sending you away, I replied flatly. Her gaze darted around my living room, like she was searching for something familiar that wasn't there anymore. I don't even know where to begin, she said. Try the truth, I muttered. Sinking into the couch, Emma sat across from me, hands twisting nervously. I ruined everything, I see it now. I thought I was chasing love, but I was chasing an illusion. I threw away the only person who ever truly cared for me. My jaw tightened. You're not wrong. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Betrayed you. I humiliated you. I can't take any of it back. But I'm begging you, please don't hate me. I don't hate you, I said. Not anymore. She blinked rapidly. Then what do you feel? I leaned back, staring at the ceiling for a moment. Numbness, like the fires burned out. Like I used up all the emotions I had for you a long time ago. Her lips trembled. I loved you, even if I didn't show it, even if I chose wrong. Swear I loved you, I almost laughed. Love doesn't destroy. Love doesn't leave someone bleeding just because a shinier option walked by. I was stupid, she whispered, blind, and I lost everything. David's gone. My friends are gone. My reputation's ashes. I have nothing left. Only you. You were always the only thing real. Her words cut, but not the way they used to. Funny, I said. When I handed you those keys that night, I thought I was giving you my whole world. Turns out I was just giving you ammunition. She winced. Don't say that. Why not? It's the truth. You drove off with him in the car I bled for. Laughed at me with the same mouth that once promised me forever, and now you're here, wanting forgiveness. Yes, she said quickly. I'm here because I can't live with the weight of what I did. I need to hear you say I'm not a monster. I stared at her, really stared. For the first time, she looked small to me, not dazzling, just a girl crushed under her own choices. You're not a monster, I said slowly. You're human, flawed, weak, and maybe that's worse, because monsters don't know better. You did. Her tears fell harder. So you forgive me? Silence lingered before I finally spoke. I forgive you. Her breath caught. You do? Yes, I said quietly. Because carrying hate for you is like dragging chains I don't need anymore. But don't mistake forgiveness for love. That died the night you walked away. Her face collapsed, like she'd been holding on to that last thread of hope. So that's it? No second chance? No second chance, I said firmly. Not for us. You chose him. You chose lies. And maybe one day you'll choose yourself. But I won't be standing here waiting. She covered her face with her hands, sobbing. I never thought I'd lose you for good. You lost me the moment you stopped valuing me, I said. Tonight is just the burial. Her cries echoed in the quiet room. I didn't move to comfort her, not this time. You'll be happier without me, I said gently, though my tone carried steel. And I'll be happier without the weight. Of you? She lowered her hands, her mascara smudged into shadows. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I know, I said. That's why it hurts, because you'll never get it back. For a moment, she just stared at me, like she wanted to memorize my face. Then she whispered, Goodbye. Goodbye, Emma. She stood, her legs shaky, and walked toward the door. She paused, glancing back as if expecting me to stop her like I always did. I didn't move. The door closed softly behind her, and I sat in the silence that followed. No ache, no longing, just release. I thought of the boy who once handed her his father's keys with a trembling smile. That boy was gone. In his place was someone stronger, someone who knew his worth. I forgive. You? I repeated softly to the empty room. But I'll never be yours again. For the first time, those words didn't break me. They freed me. The engine purred, smooth and steady. I stood there with my hand resting on the hood, as if the car itself had survived with me. Looks brand new, the mechanic said, wiping his hands. I nodded. Feels different, though. Like it doesn't just belong to MIT. Carried everything I went through. He chuckled. Cars don't carry ghosts, only stories. Trust me. I whispered, this one carries both. He raised a brow. Drive safe. Not every machine gets a second chance. I slid into the seat, inhaling the familiar scent. My hands tightened around the wheel. The road stretched ahead, a promise and a threat at once. My phone buzzed. Sophia's name lit the screen, I answered. You finally got it back, she asked, her voice warm. Yeah, I said, staring through the windshield. Engine steady, not like me. You sound steady enough. I laughed softly. I've been a wreck for so long, I don't even know what steady feels like anymore. Then maybe it's time to find out. Easier said than done. She paused. You know, I never asked, why do you cling so much to this car? I closed my eyes. Because once I gave away its keys, like they were pieces of my heart. I thought she'd keep them safe. She didn't, Emma Sophia said quietly. Yes, always Emma. And now I sighed. Now it's just me. Just the road. Just this hum under my hands. Maybe that's better. Said, but it feels lonely. Lonely isn't the same as broken, she replied. You're not broken anymore. Am I not? I whispered. Do broken people repair their engines? Pick themselves up and answer phone calls instead of shutting the world out? I hesitated. You make it sound simple. It's not simple. But it's possible. That's enough. I turned the ignition fully. The car roared, alive. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel anger or grief in the sound. It was power. And it was mine. Where should I drive? I asked. Anywhere, she said. Drive without thinking. Let the road teach you. And if I get lost, you've already been lost, she said gently. Now you can only find yourself. Her words stilled me. For months I had fought. Ghosts tried to rebuild a sense of who I was. Now the road didn't feel like a scap it. It felt like an invitation. Do you think survival is enough? I asked. No, she said softly. Survival is the beginning. Living is the rest. Gripped the wheel tighter. And what if I'm afraid of living again? Then live afraid. Fear isn't weakness, it's proof you care about what comes next. I exhaled. Sophia, why do you always sound like you know me better than I know myself? Because I watched you collapse, and I'm watching you rise. People rarely see themselves clearly in the middle of both. I smiled faintly. So you're saying I'm rising? You are, whether you believe it yet or not. The traffic light ahead blinked green. I pressed the accelerator. The car moved forward, smooth, as if the road had been waiting only for me. I keep thinking of everything Emma said, I admitted. The apologies, the tears, but none of it mattered anymore. All felt like ash. That's because it was, Sophia replied. Ash can't be rebuilt. It only scatters. Holding on to fire long gone? I know, I don't want to hate her. You don't? If you did, you wouldn't still talk about forgiveness. You're just learning how to love yourself more than you loved her. The silence stretched, but it wasn't heavy. For once, silence felt like air. Sophia, I said, do you think I'll ever trust again? Yes, she said without hesitation. How can you be so sure? Because you're asking the question. People who never trust again don't ask, they shut down your opening. Her confidence rattled me, but it also soothed something deep inside. I'm not ready, I said. You don't have to be ready, just willing. The road curved, and I let the wheel follow. The world outside blurred into lights and motion. But inside the car, I felt a stillness I hadn't felt in years. Do you know what I realized? I asked, what? That survival isn't about winning or proving anyone wrong. It's about breathing again, driving again, smiling again. You sound like you're already living, she said gently. I chuckled. Maybe I am. Slowly, good. Because the world hasn't ended. It's still waiting. I tapped the wheel lightly. Waiting for what? For you, she said simply. The line went quiet. My chest tightened. For so long I had measured worth by someone else's eyes, someone else's approval. Now, hearing her say that, it felt different. I'm still scared, I admitted. Then let the fear ride with you, she said. Just don't let it drive. I laughed, the sound surprising me. That might be the best advice I've ever heard. Take it then. Make it yours. The night stretched ahead, vast and endless. The car hummed like a heartbeat under my hands. Sophia, yes, thank you. For what? For reminding me that tomorrow still exists. You'll see it soon enough. Keep driving. The call ended, but her voice lingered. I looked at the empty passenger seat and didn't feel empty anymore. The engine's rhythm matched my own, steady and alive. For the first time, I wasn't driving away from pain. I was driving toward tomorrow.